L2F family, all right, we are on site with a very exclusive behind the mile that's gonna blow your socks off. Now, when I first got into the business, one of the things that we want to do is create a warehouse space where we can add more value to our customers and add more money to our bottom line. But one of the things I quickly realized when we started doing warehouse was the issues with labor, staffing it, unloading trailers, the inefficiencies there, the safety and compliance issues. And so this solution today, you're gonna find out about a company that's built a product that is revolutionary. It's one of the most innovative things we have seen in the final mile space. And they're on their way to executing this, and it's going to be a game changer for the industry. Let's go behind the mile with Contoro Robotics here in Austin, Texas. Here we go. Ready to get started? I got you live in the color now.
So here's what I always present to people.
Okay.
When you're investing in your 401 or whatever you do,
Yeah.
and you see a mutual fund that is, we invest in technology, we invest in real estate, we invest in blue chip, foreign, whatever. When they say they're investing in technology, this is what they're investing here at Contoro. So we're venture capitalist funded.
Okay.
And to those companies that have the same vision, they're the ones investing in us right now to incubate us and help us develop a solution that is commercialized, that we can put into industry. And what I've mentioned to you is we are very passionate about solving and automating what we consider to be the worst task in the warehouse, which is having humans go into a steel box and grab boxes and put it on a wood pallet, because we know that roughly 30% of the 26 million TEUs that are going to come into this country are going to be floor loaded. And it makes perfect sense from a shipper's perspective, right? To load freight this way. You can jam more into it, you got less damages.
Capacity.
100%. So the shippers are going to continue to do this. But when it gets to the States and the warehouse is now expected to pay a human to go in there and do this task, you know that that's embedding cost in your shirt, in your glasses, in your phones. Every one of those has a little line item to pay that human or those humans or the detention or all of that stuff that we can try to quell through automation. So the team is really passionate about trying to solve that. As labor costs continue to rise, technology costs continue to come down, we're not in the business to eliminate headcount. We're in the business to upskill it and to move it to more meaningful tasks in the warehouse.
To optimize it.
100%. And when we go into a warehouse, we don't get any pushback from the humans that are doing this task. They're like,
take it.
It's all yours. Like, we don't want it. We don't want to. We've got a customer that has a boom that goes over their shipping containers and sprays water on it to try to cool it so that it is habitable for humans to be inside of it.
Wow.
So we know that the conditions are inhumane.
Yeah.
We want to get humans out, get them to do more meaningful work. And we're so fortunate that our investors see that same vision for us and are helping us along the way. So what I'd like to do is show you what we're currently doing.
All right.
I'd like to show you where we're building, because we do it all here in Austin.
Let's do it.
Let's go for a walk.
Let's go for a walk. Going for a walk. Here we go. Let me leave this. What we got here?
This is basically the brains of the operation, right? So this is where all of our engineers sit, where they collaborate. They're broken down into different sub-teams. And this is basically where everybody is assembled to work together and continue to build out the software, the hardware designs, deployment, all of that is housed here.
He misses it. Where's the magic happen? Let's
This
see.
is where the magic happens. All right. So along this run, we've got robots in different stages of build. So what we do is we incorporate a lot of off-the-shelf components that are readily available for us to assemble together. But some of the components are designed by us. So the mobile base, as well as the end effector, are proprietary to Contoro. Not to mention the probably 500,000 lines of code that is used to operate. So if we look at the anatomy of the robot, this is the front.
Okay.
And it's got wheels on the front that will drive it into the shipping container.
Okay.
And this arm will grab boxes and place it on the conveyor to then shunt it out of the shipping container and into the warehouse. So that's essentially the design, and you can see this one is basically just the chassis, like the chassis to your car.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And we will continue to integrate the different components to make these into this.
So first question pops in mind, right? Like mind blown, right? How heavy is this? Because
3,500 pounds.
Okay, so I think about some of these trailers I've been in,
Got it.
and these wooden floors are a little danky there.
A little soft sometimes.
A little soft sometimes, some soft spots. So I'm assuming, so does the whole system go into the trailer?
It does.
Okay.
And I'll show you a demonstration of that on this next dock door.
Okay.
When you think about like a 3-wheel counterbalance forklift, battery powered, that's like 10,000 pounds,
Yeah.
right? And now we're talking about that soft floor. It's got 3 points where the weight's distributed on 3 points for your forklift weighing, whatever, 8.
Story time with drop off. The lab test that just couldn't wait. A hospital system needed a delivery fast. The patient was prepped, the doctors were waiting, and time was just not on their side. Enter drop off. Drop off showed up with the certified driver, temperature controlled equipment, and live updates along the way. That wasn't just moving a package, it was saving a life. And that's the type of reliability that drop off brings in 35 plus markets across the US. Powered by smart technology, but always with people and drivers who care. Turn this story into your reality. Visit dropoff.com today.
1,000 pounds. This, 3,500 pounds, still has 3 points of contact. So the weight distribution is less than what you would see a regular stand-up dock stocker.
Interesting. I'm assuming there's a tremendous amount of sensors on this piece of equipment to understand kind of not just where it is in the vehicle, but also it's got to be able to grab boxes. So I know we've seen a little demo beforehand.
Yeah.
I want to really see an S because I'm curious how it can grab certain types of, in this final mile world, you get all types of freight.
Yeah,
right?
that's
So
right.
It's no cookie cutter box.
That's right.
It's got to be able to grab and grip a lot of different types of commodities.
We've learned more about corrugate than I think we ever intended to learn.
Yeah.
Whether it's been recycled or whether it's virgin paperboard that's going to be used to make this cardboard, whether that cardboard has silk screening on it, whether it has black tape on it that could fool the sensors to thinking that that might be the border of the box when it really is the box.
Right.
So all of those things, we've got a sensor and camera array, everything from LiDAR at the front to cameras on the system, cameras in the end effector, to be able to see that, perceive that, and ultimately drive the behavior for the arm to pick boxes off of the box wall.
It's fascinating.
It really
Fascinating.
is.
Now you mentioned that you've have a number of investors who've contributed to the efforts of Contoro.
Sure.
What is the investment up to now? Do you know where you
So
guys are?
we cleared Series A in March of this year.
Okay.
So I don't know when the next round of fundraising will happen, but having our coffers filled has really helped us to bring in more headcount,
Sure.
to be able to develop quicker, build quicker, help our capabilities and our speed to market.
Yeah. And where
Yeah.
are you at? So market penetration, have you put some of these, obviously we saw a video earlier where
Yeah.
one's in the field.
Yeah.
How many are kind of deployed, and are you strategically kind of put them in certain different applications, or what's the kind of early rollout plan?
We're blessed with this market that the majority of our customers are in or around ports, right? Because products coming in and then it's going to warehouse and then it's being palletized and then moving through the supply chain. So we have sites in New Jersey, near Chicago, Southern Cal, and a couple here in Austin, Texas.
Okay, excellent, excellent. And when you go to a customer to sell this, right? So I'm assuming there's a bunch of questions they have.
Yeah.
Cost comes up, right? Right.
Really?
So, really. So I'm looking at this. This is not cheap equipment.
Right.
You have to put a lot of software into it.
You bet.
How do you come up with the pricing model for
Yeah.
something like this? What's the structure of the price for this?
We believe that our 3PLs and our warehousing customers, there's a lot of barriers to entry for this level of technology and automation. And we were very thoughtful with how to structure our business to try to remove those barriers or reduce them. So when we engage with a customer at site, we don't sell the system as a CapEx.
Okay.
What we do is we partner with them and we sell our capability to automate the offloading, and we charge by the trailer.
Interesting. I am blown.
Mind blown.
But-
So that effectively reduces this CapEx. Oh, I can't afford $200,000, $300,000.
Yeah.
But you know what I can do as the warehouse man? I can trade labor dollars for robot dollars.
Yeah.
And even if it's flat between the two, our customers see the advantage to automating this, getting their humans out to do more meaningful work, and let the robot slog in the sweat box.
Yeah. So the robot can actually, I'm sure it can trace and track every individual piece it's picking up. So you know from activity standpoint when it's moving, how much freight has been unloaded. You probably get a whole lot more data now than what, in my warehouse back in the day, we had, the trailer comes in, you got 2, maybe 4 guys got unloaded. You kind of estimate how much time it's going to be, but you have no real data, no real insight how long it's taking, what the real conditions are, how efficient we are with that offloading. So
Yeah.
I'm sure you can pick up a lot more insights and analytics that you can use to better perform and set your pricing up for your customers.
Yeah, we get a data stream from every trailer offloaded that shows exactly when the timestamps are from when the box was picked to placed, when the e-stop was engaged and disengaged. We get all of that timestamp code for every shipping container that we offload.
It's crazy.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. We're in the Jetsons.
That's it. We are there.
We are there.
And furthermore, as we go through, the robot takes a picture of the box wall, and then it starts segmenting it to discernible boxes and tasks to be able to offload that. So if there's a damage inside the shipping container, it's always this way when you're dealing with a warehouse, the shipper, and the trucker, right? Everybody points to the other guy as to how the damage happens. And typically, the shipper is going to say, take a picture of the box while it's in the shipping container so I know your guys didn't do it and that's exactly how they found it. Don't take a picture of it on the dock. Don't take a picture of it in the rack.
It's not a chain of custody hit your...
You're exactly right.
threshold,
So we believe that with our camera array, if there's a leaker or if there's a moldy box because there was a leak in the shipping container, we can detect that very early in the process and afford our customers the opportunity to either leverage our images that are taken, or they can take their own to push back those damages.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
And
Now-
furthermore, we anticipate to be able to almost see it at the SKU level, where we can then start providing data to compare what was physically on the truck, what was on the packing list, and what the shipper said. So we
Russell's
can
gonna
compare
get-
those
it's
three.
like OS and D, right? So
That's
over,
it.
short, and damage, right?
Yep.
So item comes off, the arm picks up, goes on the conveyor belt here. It kind of rolls up into the warehouse. Is it doing any additional scanning, inventory tracking, management that then now can tie back into your TMS platform?
Not yet. So we are rapidly developing a palletization complement for this, where we can pick it off the trailer, it goes down a conveyor, and then a palletizer is then autonomously palletizing. In order for that to happen, we need to make sure that the orientation of the box presents itself correctly to the palletizer. What does that mean? It needs to go through a scan tunnel
To see.
and then and a box flipper, really two box flippers to be able to orient it. But at that point, now we're able to see whether it's the SKU, the alphanumeric, the scan, the barcode that's on the box, because we need to present that where it's labels out for our customers on the pallet. But we think we can use that data to then reference back to the ASN or to the packing list or to what's on the container to be really that source of truth in all of that ambiguity to provide that data back to our customers.
Now, this thing like need a driver? Like, how do you actually get it positioned to unload the trailer?
Great question.
Oh,
We use a gamepad controller.
old school, like a PlayStation.
That's it, yeah. Maybe it's Xbox, I'm not sure. But yeah, our engineers in the field can use that gamepad controller to move the robot into position as we've got mocked up here. And as the robot grabs a box wall, it will continuously index forward to get in proximity to the next box wall. Then once it's all the way in the nose and done, then our engineers will back it out, disassemble all the conveyance, back the robot out, drive it over to the next dock, and start offloading again.
So you say you're engineers, but if I'm gonna if I've purchased this or I'm leasing it, whatever the arrangement is, I don't have an engineer in my staff. I've got Johnny that's been my warehouse manager for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And Johnny, does he need to be certified to control this? Is there some type of training that goes into his ability to be able to maneuver this to the correct spot? Because a damage to this is much more costly than damage to one of those boxes.
Yeah, so, in the warehouse world, when you need to scale and add more capability, you call your forklift guy, you lease another one for peak season. All your guys know how to drive it. It's a stand-up, they're good. We know that this technology exceeds the capability for our standard warehouse, right? So what we do is when we deploy to a customer site, we send our engineer to be on site to operate this thing initially. Ultimately, we want to be able to hand the controls off to the warehouse site, because at Contoro, we've got this unique capability where we can control these robots from Austin, Texas. So we can be that big brother and provide very high support to our warehouse. But we know sending our engineers to operate this at every deployment is unsustainable. So we are highly motivated to make this commercialized so that the warehouse men can set it up, hit the start button, and then start catching boxes as they come off. We'll get there, but we're not quite capable of passing what we call the keys to the warehouse yet. Probably another 8 months, and we will be able to feather in our warehouse customers to operate the robot.
And the other thing I'm thinking about is how much time you're going to open yourself up to. So now a lot of warehouses have to shut down receiving hours because of labor. Right. So oftentimes in my business, when I had it, we would have trucks in there waiting, 5 a.m. when we show up the next morning, but they got there at midnight. Right. So with a solution like this, you could literally, as long as you could open the warehouse door up, you could activate this machine. It can unload, so now the freight is already in the warehouse, ready to go. At some point, it may get so smart where it's been scanned in, maybe even sorted, so that your team can go straight from arrival to outbounding. Versus having to unload, take those extra couple hours, right? So,
but you keep that up and you're gonna get a Contoro shirt. We anticipate what we call sweating the asset, right? Like, this robot can work just as fast on hour 1 as it can on hour 23. We want it to be going, we want it to continue, we want it to be offloading as much as possible. But let's go see a demo right around the corner here.
Guys working hard.
So this is essentially how it looks to, our customer. What we've got in this shipping container is a smattering of box sizes, orientation, and weights. And what we'd like to show you today is a quick demo, and you're welcome to film it from this side or that side.
Okay.
Whatever you think you need to get good footage, but we'd like to show you how we can grab boxes from the top row. You got to grab them from the front face because you don't have the headspace to grab them from the top. That was a big learning for us early on. And what the team designed was a articulating gripper to be able to grab that front face of the box, and just before that moment load happens, it can cradle it from underneath. Now it's just like a quarterback under center, right?
Yeah.
And you got two sides of the box adhered to the robot, and then you can move it over to the conveyor, set it down, and then rinse and repeat to the tune of whatever, 1,000 boxes per trailer.
I see it.
Fired up, boys. And you might get a better view, Jason, from the other side.
We've all heard the saying before, trust but verify. But in the last mile, when you're working with agents and master contractors, verification is manual, complex, and very rarely achieved. Enter GigSafe. GigSafe solved the problem that matters to you most. They've built a new network compliance tool that ties in master contractors, agents, and carriers so they can connect, validate, and authenticate their delivery and driver networks. With automated onboarding, live compliance tracking, and insurance verification, all happening in real time. No spreadsheets, no follow-ups, no more hoping that my partners are doing it right. Just one connected platform where visibility and control are at every layer of your operation. Turn your compliance into your competitive advantage. Visit gigsafe.com today.
Juice it up, man. What are we at? Like 40%? I don't get out of bed for anything less than 50. All right, we're gonna ramp it up.
That's pretty impressive.
So, couple reps, they're gonna speed it up.
I was gonna say the speed of it, so it's moving pretty well. I mean, it's gonna work. These boxes, they have some weight to them. Is there per box load capacity? Is there...
We can go up to 65 pounds.
Okay.
These are, I think, are filled with textbooks or bricks or calendars or whatever we got in there.
I've noticed that it releases at different levels.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So it must understand that the weight and the sensitivity of the item.
Well, we're still working on being able to toggle that drop height. If you think about it, the robot can see the size of the presenting box, but it doesn't know the depth of it. So that's kind of an operator aspect that we're still working to refine.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, one of our customers is a lighting customer that imports not only like string lights, but also fluorescent lights, compact fluorescent tubes, and they have a very fragile product. And we're able to offload their trailers even with that fragile commodity of light bulbs.
And it will just continue to move into the the trailer here
Yeah.
as it pulls boxes off
Correct.
on the wheel system. So
Correct.
off the dock plate, it comes right back out.
So once it's in, then it will autonomously move forward after every box wall is offloaded.
I love it. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable technology.
It's pretty cool stuff.
Phenomenal
right?
job, guys. Pretty cool.
It really is.
So this is a live shot where? Where's the
Southern California.
SoCal. A little closer, I can see it a little better if you don't mind. So it's the same, just different shots of the same machine, right?
Correct.
Okay. Look at that.
So the commodity on this, Jason, are essentially ramen noodle cups. Just the container for a manufacturer there in Southern California. So they bring in all of their packaging from overseas, and Contoro offloads it with our robot. Then it's palletized and then sent to the manufacturer to be populated with noodles and seasoning.
Awesome. Now you mentioned earlier you bill it based off of the trailer.
Correct.
Is there a certain rate that you can say publicly right now what that rate is, or is it kind of based off of the scope?
Yeah, I can give you a range.
Okay.
So typically we look at a shipping container at the 1,000 case mark.
Okay.
So anything less than 1,000 is one price, and anything over 1,000 is another price.
Okay.
And typically that range is between $175 and $225 per trailer.
That's about the price what you pay, what you charge right now to unload a trailer.
That's right. So we want to position it as, again, like I mentioned earlier, our customers, we just want them to swap out labor dollars for robot dollars.
And that's I think the other benefit of this, which you haven't talked a lot about, is the safety. And I do insurance, right? So I'm very keen to workers' comp issues and things that happen, particularly in the warehouse environment where you have, individuals in there called humping, right? They're unloading, they're picking up boxes. It's maybe not the best lighting, trips and falls. None of that with a robot, right? You're gonna save yourself a lot on your E-mod, which is kind of a big indicator for your work comp, should be positively impacted.
Yeah, one of our biggest customers is really trying to reduce their exposure to those LTIs.
Yeah.
And they have a strong safety incentive to reduce these types of injuries, because we know 80% of accidents in the warehouse happen on the dock, right? It's congested.
Yep.
You got guys going in and out of shipping trailers. You got companies that are trying to outfit their lumpers with the best PPE, whether that's bump caps, gloves, steel toe boots, what have you. And with our thought, why don't we just keep the humans from not having to go inside the sweat box and let the machines do it?
Yeah.
We also, this is very insightful, is one of our customers has, I forget the name of call it a vest or a sensor that measures how their warehouse men bend and stoop and reach.
Wow.
And what we're able to do is to actually put a quantifiable data to it, where we have the human offload wearing these sensors, and we can see what their ergonomic score is. And then we have that human do the same task, catching boxes off of our conveyor, and we can compare the data to see if they're not reaching up to the top of the box wall or the bottom of the box wall, and then they're just catching boxes off of the conveyor, which is right there in the golden zone of ergonomics.
Yeah.
Is there a positive trend on the ergonomics quantifiably? So we're still working through as that data comes on. We've been partnering with this company. This is our third week at their facility. So we're still flushing through that data to try to compare apples to apples with how does it feel to catch boxes off a conveyor versus offloading in a shipping container. And we believe that the data will yield positive.
I'm sure you'll be right.
It's got to, right?
It's got to, yeah.
Yeah.
In the last mile world, we've all used technology that looks good, but doesn't get the job done. That's why Different is different. Built by courier pros with over 35 years of real-world operational experience. Sorting freight, dispatching drivers, missed scans, They built the technology platform that they always needed. You get lightning fast dispatching and routing, a driver app that eliminates confusion and adds visibility, back office automation, and tools from on-demand to air freight, all in one place. Need proof? Their courier business grew 300% in just 3 weeks without any new hires and managing 150 drivers. Ready for tech that gets it? Visit deliverdifferent.com and book your demo today. There's so many benefits to that, particularly from a safety standpoint you're talking about. I didn't think about it. That's pretty cool. You have a vest that measures those kind of ergonomic movements. I know it's just me getting out the bed sometimes in the morning, bending over the wrong way.
That's right.
Back starts hurting. You can imagine unloading trucks. And particularly at a time like when you see transportation companies are inundated with rising costs, right? So I know your goal is kind of a break even on labor, but this is going to drive a lot of efficiency, savings, and then that can be used to turn those profits or those savings into more attractive programs for your employees or more benefits for your customers, right? So I think there's a number of different kind of outcomes from the technology. One question I want to ask you too, if someone wanted to actually get involved and learn about how to use, get access to the Contoro, is it just called the Contoro robot? Was there a name for the robot?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
Yeah. I figured it'd be a name somewhere associated
We
with this.
really, at one point, we reserved naming the robot to the customers that adopted us early on. We thought that was kind of fun to have them name it. Their names were pretty extravagant. So where we're landed is we call it the Doc Duck.
Doc.
Like a duck, because the way the robot looks, it resembles to the silhouette kind of a duck.
Okay.
So that's how we affectionately refer to it. You'll see a lot of the guys have little ducks on their desk, and we call it, what dock is it? What duck is it?
There's one there.
Is duck 15 over at customer site? What duck is it? We also, there's no like AGV or, so we also refer to it as a ATU, an automatic trailer unloader. So that's not nearly as fun as the marketing as the Doc Duck. Yeah, for sure. So we're kind of holding on to this Doc Duck from a marketing perspective. It's a lot of fun to position it as such.
Do many of your customers have more than one unit at a time, or are they right now typically starting with one unit?
All of our customers currently have one, but I've got 4 of them that are looking to expand to 2.
Awesome.
So I believe that that's a positive remark where customers have adopted us and they want to expand with us.
Yeah.
So I think that really bodes well that not only are our customers ready to expand, but the market too is ready to expand.
Yeah.
Off mic, what I think is ultimately going to happen is all of the players in this space won't be able to keep up with the demand.
Yeah.
All of us collectively won't be able to satisfy the warehouse's needs to automate this. In your travels, when do you think humans will no longer do this task?
Timeline estimation?
Yeah. And here, I'll move over here so you can get that in the background.
When
does that happen?
I was up last night doing a lot of research, and this industry is expected to quadruple by 2033 in terms of
8
volume.
years.
8 years from now. So 8 years from now, this industry is going to 4x. It's going to put a lot of pressure on a number of the different components that make things work, and there's an efficiency need in this industry to make it all work. So this is actually at the heart of it, right? Because you can't deliver something until you receive it. So I think this is one of the big bottlenecks in the space. And so if you put me on the spot for a timeline, I think within certainly 10 years, you're going to see a major shift to a lot of different automations, right? We're talking about trailer unloading right now, but I mean, there's so many different things. We're here in Austin, Texas, right? There's no shortage of Waymos right around here. So I think this thing is happening right before our eyes. I think that the industry is starting to become really aware of it. I'm sure you see this in your sales efforts, but I think that the top's gonna get ripped off here, probably about 5 or 6 years, where it's like, if you haven't already thought about solving this, you are behind.
Yeah.
So right now you probably have a 3 to 5 year runway to kind of stay ahead. At 5 years from now, I think if you haven't started really figuring out every area of business where you can add this type of technology, this type of innovation, automation, you're going to be in trouble because you forget even trying to compete. You won't be able to keep up with the volume to compete. And so that's.
How are the folks in your network at various distribution centers or various supply chain mods, how are they embracing technology that you're seeing with your involvement?
Yeah.
Like
I
flip the script.
Yeah,
Who's
yeah,
interviewing who?
He's gonna interview me right now, right? It's a little bit hodgepodge, right? You have some folks who are on the front end, right? I think most of the people in our space right now have started to look at from the vehicle asset standpoint, right? EVs, e-bikes, labor starting to get more outsourced, more from a kind of going offshoring and nearshoring. But it's a sign that there's pressure in the industry right now from a margin standpoint. And I think everyone is now figuring out, insurance is not a big growing item. It's like, where can we bring in technology to automate? I don't think that it's really hit that tipping point just yet. And I think, but I think that the signs are all there for it to come the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
And I think what I encourage a lot of people in the audience is to do is to, when you get content like this, like go do some homework, go do some research, and really, talk to your teams, bring this up in your staff meeting, figure out, okay, hey, where are the opportunities? We have these bottlenecks, and where can we innovate? Because the technology is out there. I mean, you got guys like John, his team. I mean, they're building something that's incredible, that we have not seen before, and it's going to be a game changer. So, my dad always tell me, if you're not on the design side, you're on the behind side. So, you should always be on the design side in your business. So, but what you guys are doing here, I want to ask you one question. What was the impetus for this? Like, what started the idea? Who came up with the idea to build this?
I think if you asked 10 people, you'd probably get 10 different answers.
Yeah.
So early on, we wanted to leverage our parent company's exoskeleton, which is used for stroke rehabilitation to reintroduce the muscle movement of the stroke patient's impacted side. So initially, we wanted to use that exoskeleton to be able to manipulate a robot in the field. And then the conversation started shifting to what can that robot do? And we took a very, I think, pragmatic approach where we weren't trying to fit a robot to the solution. We were looking at the problem and then designing the robot to solve that. Ultimately, we pivoted away from the exoskeleton being able to operate to try to help control our costs at the time. We initially thought we could go from box wall to pallet without putting it on a conveyor. But where we came to the realization was if we're offloading SKU A onto pallet A in the trailer, very small space to do that.
Yeah.
And then we're able to offload SKU B onto the second pallet. If we came across SKU C, we didn't have a home for it because only 2 pallets fit in the width of a shipping container. So at that point, we had to kind of scrap our ambition to be able to go direct to pallet, and that's where we started conveying it, get it out to the warehouse. Now you can set aside a full complement of pallets. You can sort and seg on the dock. But that's essentially kind of how we got to where we went. And listen, Jason, I don't know, shame on us for carving out like arguably the most challenging variable situation to automate because the lighting,
it's not easy.
The box sizes, like we mentioned earlier, the tape, the screen printing, if the loads shift backwards, now you've got underhang. If they shift towards you, now you've got overhang. There's so many variabilities in what we're doing, but we also believe that all of the competitors in the space can live because the size of the prize is so big and the industry needs so much help to automate this that even our competitors in the space, I'm not saying we collaborate, but we don't look at them as an enemy by any means. So we look at them as a complement as to how can we all help this business that needs a lot of help to automate. That's the way we vision it.
Well said.
Yeah.
Look,
Thanks.
I appreciate you having me over.
Man, I'm so glad you came.
This is awesome, man. This is awesome experience. Awesome for me to see it live. John and I talked maybe a month or so ago, and I was like, I gotta come see it, you know. So seeing is believing. So if you weren't a believer before, I hope you see it today. And check them out at Contoro.com.
You got it.
Contoro.com. Check them out. And hey, watch the Last First podcast. This has been Behind the Mile with John and Contoro Robotics, and they are building something revolutionary for the industry. Check it out. We'll see you next time. Peace out.